Hello and welcome to another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Today we're going to be doing a reverse sear on the Broil King Regal 500 pellet grill. Don't forget guys, if you're new to the channel, I have got an Instagram page where I post daily content. It should just be here, so head on over there, check it out, and I'll see you over there. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. So, the reverse sear. I use this method a hell of a lot. It's great if you've got a big 2-inch thick piece of meat and you want to get some smoke flavour on it, but then you want to also get the lovely sear marks on the outside. So I touched on searing briefly before on the Regal 500, and we know that we can get up to 320 if not higher degrees, so it's great for searing on. I'll put the link to those videos up here if you want to go over and check them out. So let's go over to the bench, we'll have a look at the fantastic bit of meat that we've got, and I'll show you how to make up a very special seasoning that is absolute go-to, and you may think it's funny, but trust me, give it a go. And here is our wonderful beef to coat. It's about 1.2 kilos, really thick as you can see there, and this is going to be great for reverse searing. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of oil over it as it's quite dry, just like so, and that's all on there. So now let's make our rub. Okay, so to make this rub we're going to want 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, half a tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a tablespoon of cayenne pepper, and a pinch of brown sugar. Now we're just going to mix all that up until it looks like that. Okay, now we're going to sprinkle this with the rub that we've made over the top, just like so, covering all angles. And that is all seasoned, ready to go. So we're just going to leave that now on the side for about half an hour, and let's go fire up the grill. It's really important that you leave that bit of meat seasoned on the side for at least half an hour, 45 minutes to really soak in. And when it's soaked in, it will go this really nice sort of deep red colour, and it looks absolutely amazing. So it's time to fire up the pellet grill. I say we're going to start off nice and slow, as you can see here. We're going to run at 107 degrees. Keep that lid open to start with, and we're just going to get it up to temperature. Okay, the grill is now up to temperature. We're ready to go, so let's get this massive chunk of meat on, and we're going to use the in-probe thermometers that are built into the Broil King to measure the temperature as we go up. Now we're going to be looking to cook it to about 40-ish degrees. I always say cook it about 15 degrees less than what you want to serve it at. So we're going to be serving it at roughly about 54 degrees, which is how I like my steak. So as you can see here, we're starting to really take on some nice smoke flavour. You can tell that because the colour of the meat is going that lovely deep red, which is taken on from the cherry pellets that we're using. So we're not quite there yet. I think probably another 10 minutes of this, and then we're ready to crank up the temperature, get it off, rest it, and wait for the grill to come up to 320 degrees. Okay, it's now reading the perfect temperature. It's looking good. Let's now get this steak off. We're just going to wrap it in some tin foil just to maintain that heat. It's now cooked nicely through the middle. Let's turn up that pellet grill, 320 degrees. Probably going to take about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get up to where we need to be. So it is pretty quick, but it is pretty cold. So it should take about that time. And then we'll come back when it's at temperature, and then we're going to get searing. And one thing I really like about the Broil King is the cast iron grates that come with it. You can really sear on these and get some beautiful grill marks on it, but as well as developing a lovely caramelization around the outside of the steak. So the grill is now up to temperature. Let's chuck this bad boy on and let's get that little sizzle going. So realistically, I think this is only going to take probably another 5 minutes, but what we're going to do is we're going to chuck it on for 1 minute 30 on one side, then we're going to give it a little quarter turn for another minute, and then we're going to flip it and do it another little turn, and again another minute, and it should bring us to about 5 minutes. And then at that point we should be probing about 54 degrees, which is how I like my steak. Obviously if you like it a little bit more well done, then obviously just go that little bit more. Cool, now look at those grill marks. I tell you, every time I do a steak on the Broil King, the grill marks amazes me, it really does. It's the same with the gas grill, it's all to do with those cast iron grates. Funny enough though, you don't get that on the Kamado when I'm searing like that. You literally hardly any marks on it at all, unlike what we're getting at the moment. So this is now reading perfect temperature. I'm going to get it off. I'm going to rest it on the bench for about 10 minutes, just covered in tin foil, not wrapped in tin foil, just covered, just to try and maintain some of that heat in there. And then we're going to have a little slice up and see what it's like. Okay, and here it is on the bench. Lovely sear marks on it. Really nice. Beautiful. Okay, so let's slice it up. Wow, now that was a nice steak. I tell you, you just can't beat a nice steak on a Saturday night. It just doesn't get better than that. Really happy with how it turned out. Potentially could have gone another 1 or 2 degrees on the cookness. It was a little bit rare for me, but the missus does enjoy it, that sort of rarity, so it's not all lost. But another couple of degrees for me and that would have been absolutely perfect. But it did taste bang on. The cinnamon really makes it pop. If you have not tried cinnamon on a steak, you really need to. Give that rub a go. It's one of my own recipes and it's absolutely amazing. So today what we've done, we had a lovely 1.2 kilo piece of beef that we seasoned with my own recipe, which I will put in the description if you missed it. We then let that rest for 20 minutes, half an hour, sat on the side, really letting that rub get into the meat. We fired up the Broil King pellet grill. We set it at 107 degrees. We used the Smoke Master Blend pellets and we got some really nice smoke on it. We then took it to 40 degrees internal temperature. We then pulled it off of the grill, rested it in some tin foil, and then we cranked that grill up to 320 degrees. 20 minutes later, we were ready to sear, so we chucked that bad boy on. We got some really nice lines and marks on it, absolutely amazing. We then, as I say, let it rest for about 10 minutes or so, got it off, and wow, was that a good steak. I absolutely loved it, and it's one of my favourite things to do on a Saturday night. Seriously, if you've got a big thick cut steak like this, you really need to give this a go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and join me next time for another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Thank you for watching.